Hey guys, Paul Phillips here with Patek Photography and Gear Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at the RL600-B and the best way to trigger it. Let's check it out. Okay, so the whole reason for doing this video is not to do a how-to video on the RL600-B. There's lots of videos out there that cover the operation of this monoblock. What I wanted to do was share what I found about triggering the monoblock and doing high-speed sync. So let's get right to it. You have a TRS controller that comes with the unit and does a great job of remotely controlling the power levels, putting the modeling light on and off, all the basic stuff you need. However, this thing does not do high-speed sync. And the main reason I bought this, I wanted to be able to do high-speed sync. I saw the videos with Pixel Kings being able to do high-speed sync, so I thought, great. So if you want to do high-speed sync, you can use a set of Pixel King Pros for Nikon, which is what I've got here. And really all you do is this guy goes on top of the camera like so. Your controller can go on top of the Pixel King transmitter or not. It's completely up to you. But this will give you pass-through. And the receiver goes into the 3.5 millimeter plug on the back. And then I just hang this off of the side like so. And I'm able to do high-speed sync. Okay, well that's great. I was surfing around on YouTube one day and I saw, I think the guy's in either Russia or Prague, and he happened to have a controller that looked suspiciously like a Pixel King Pro. But then I discovered that it's actually made by Jinbei and it's called the TRA6. And he was using this without the Pixel Kings, and I thought, whoa, I got to take a look at that. So what I've discovered now is the best way to do high-speed sync with the RL600 is using the TRA6. So at first I didn't know whether this thing would even work. I saw it on eBay and I reached out to a fellow at Jinbei and he was nice enough to send me some instructions, and I got to tell you, without those instructions I never would have got this to sync with the RL600-B. And what you'll see through the instructions is that this is the TRA6 for Nikon, and I think there's one for Canon, but this is actually designed to work with another model of monoblock. I think it's the HD600V that's available in Europe and Australia. But when I reached out to Jinbei, the gentleman told me that yes, this would work, but with lesser functionality. So what I'm going to do is show you the functionality that I have with the TRA6 and the RL600-B, but the bottom line is, take this off here, I don't really need my Pixel Kings or the TRS anymore, which is great. I can do high-speed sync just using the TRA6 on top of my camera like this, and I'll demonstrate that for you, and I'll show you the modes that you'll see on the back of the LCD, and I'll show you what you can do with the TRA6, what it looks like, and I'll provide the instructions. I got permission, I asked permission from the fellow from Jinbei if it would be okay if I put those instructions on my YouTube video, and he said, yeah, no problem, go ahead and do it. So let's get right to it. Let's take a close-up look of the back of the RL600-B and the back of the TRA6, and then you can see how it'll work for you, and I'll show you the instructions and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, so here we got the D200, TRA6, RL600-B, and really all you need to know about the RL600-B is that it'll only do high-speed sync down to 1/16 of a second. Push the power down instead of the power up and you'll get to 1/16 pretty quick. So we're at 1/16. So what you need to know is, that's just a condenser in the RL600 unloading, by the way. So you see a little radio antenna signal here, and there you go. Radio antenna signal, 00, 4 dip switches all set to up. And if you look here on the TRA6, you'll see the same thing, 00, 4 dip switches set. You'll see like what looks like a little martini glass. This is the modeling lamp control. There's modeling lamp on, off. You'll see high speed sync down the bottom. You'll see OK, and you'll see plus and minus. And what's important to note is these buttons are numbered from 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's the way they are in the instructions. So this is the way you need to have the TRA6 set so it will sync with the RL600. So right away all I've done is I've just turned the power off there. I'm going to turn it back on again. You'll see the Jinbei name come up, and if I hit the test mode button here, I get a test flash out of the RL600. Okay, that's great. So now the next thing I can do, you've already seen the modeling light. There it's on, there it's off, and I'm going to raise the power. You'll notice that the power level is going up on the RL600, but you can't see it on the TRA6. Okay, so that's one of the limitations using the TRA6 with the RL600-B. But that's not a showstopper. In fact, for me to have just the TRA6 on the top of my camera and not have to have anything dangling from the RL600-B, that's a big advantage. So, okay, now the next thing we need to get into is if you're going to switch modes, if you want to go to this, it looks like an arrow that's pointing up to a few lines here, button number 3, and just hold it down. You'll come to this mode here, and the backlight on mode simply allows you to, you can switch through. You can put it in auto mode, you can put it in on, and I usually just leave it in on mode. And then if you hold this for a long press again, you'll see that it's in MTRS mode. And MTRS mode is basically, so TRS mode is basically the same mode as a TRS. Now it seems kind of odd because if I switch this here, it goes into TRA6 mode and you'll see wake and you'll see some numbers here, and if I hit this it'll stop flashing, but it doesn't sync up with the RL600-B when it's in this mode. Like, I can't fire it. The camera fires but the flash doesn't fire. So it's really important to make sure that you're not in TRA6 mode. You want to be in MTRS mode. So if I hold this down again, so this is another thing you'll see. If I hold this down, see if I can get us back to MTRS mode. So this whole settings mode here is what you would have on the HD 600V. If I hold this for a long press again, and then press here, it takes me back to MTRS mode. I can hit OK, and now I'm syncing up again. And so just so that you can see that it is working in high-speed sync, if I haven't joggled the camera too much, and so there you go. I've just taken a picture. I got a little tripod there just so the lens will focus, and I'm in manual mode, 8 thousandths of a second at f1.8. So there you have it. Really straightforward. So let's run through it again. So I just shut the TRA6 off. When you walk through the instructions that I'm going to provide in the video, you want to make sure you have 0, 0, 4 dip switches at the top, high speed sync here. You want to make sure high speed sync is set on the RL600B, and then as long as you're in between 1/16 and 1:1 power, the RL600B will fire in high speed sync. So yeah. That switches me to backlight mode. I'll just hit OK and we'll leave it on. Another long press, it takes me to MTRS. If you press this while you're there, you're going to go to MTRA6 mode, and that's what you don't want because the two won't sync together. So I want to go back to MTRS mode, hit OK, and then everything's going to work together. And to get back to, let's see, hitting the second button here, it takes me back to the main menu, and we're back in business. So everything syncs up. So I hope that helps you guys. It solves the mystery of, you know, whether or not you can use the TRA6 with the RL600B. Jinbei says you can do it, and as you can see here, it works just fine. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so just to wrap this up, I don't know about you, but for my money, I much prefer working like this with the TRA6 on top of the camera, and that's all I need, the RL600-B. I don't have to have anything hanging off the camera like the Pixel King Pro or a Photox Odin. And by the way, I was able to get high-speed sync to work with the Photox Odin, but again, no control over the power levels. Like I can't use the transmitter, the controller on the back, and see the power levels. I have to do them manually with the TRS and then take a look on the back of the LCD here to see what's going on with the power levels. So for my money, folks, you can put this aside, you can put the Pixel Kings aside, and you can just use your TRA6 and away you go. Now, the only thing left, the only piece of the puzzle are the instructions, and I'll put those into the video for you in the description. They're fairly straightforward, just go through the modes, and the only detail, I mean, this is a TRA6 for Nikon if you're using a camera. If you're using a Canon, you'll need to get the one for Canon, but I paid $50 US, it was $70 on eBay for the TRA6, and showed up at the door pretty quick, like under a couple of weeks. So RL600-B, again, just to give you some more perspective, why the RL600-B and not the latest offering like the HD610 from Jinbei. It's $1,000 US. This is $369 US from Adorama on sale. I got this to my door for 600 bucks. That's the cheapest monoblock you're going to get. And the only thing that I can't do, there's no hot shoe pass through here, so I can't use another speed light unless I want to use it in S1 mode. And that's all I do is I'll just fire the monoblock and set one of my speed lights to S1 if I want to have a hair light. But honestly, the kind of shooting that I'm doing, I don't find I really need it when I'm doing high-speed sync. If you watch any of the Jason Lanier videos, one model, one light, the camera, and that's really all you need. So I hope this video helps you. I know it was kind of short and sweet, but and it took me forever to get this together. I was waiting for the TRA6 to show up. But I hope this helps you. Don't forget to subscribe and like us. We'll see you soon. Okay, bye for now.